Imagine this. You're standing in the TSA line just 30 minutes before your flight. Your bags are already through the scanner, and your boarding pass is in hand. And then the officer looks at your license and says, "This isn't enough. No real ID, no passport." And now you're being told it'll cost you $45 to continue through security. It sounds unbelievable, but it's happening to more travelers than ever. In this video, I'll explain what this new fee is, who it affects, and the simple steps you can take to make sure you never have to pay it. If you want more travel tips like this, hit subscribe. 1. The alleged $45 confirm ID fee. Imagine handing over the same driver's license you've carried for years, expecting the routine security check you've gone through dozens of times. Instead, you're told your identification isn't real ID compliant, and you're informed that you'll need to go through an identity verification process that may involve an alleged $45 confirm ID fee. According to the claims discussed in this video, travelers without a real ID-compliant driver's license or another accepted form of identification could be required to complete additional identity verification before continuing through security. Whether or not you've traveled many times before doesn't change what the checkpoint looks for today. The system focuses on whether your identification meets the current requirements, not how often you've flown in the past. One of the easiest things you can do before any trip is simply look at your driver's license. If it has the real ID star in the upper corner, you're generally in much better shape than someone discovering they're missing it while standing in the security line. 2. The 10-day verification window. One detail many travelers reportedly overlook is that the alleged confirm ID payment isn't necessarily tied to just one direction of your trip. According to the video's claims, once the payment is made, the verification remains valid for a 10-day period. That means if you're taking a weekend getaway or visiting family for less than 10 days, you wouldn't need to repeat the same payment on your return journey. Understanding this timeline can prevent unnecessary confusion and keep travelers from paying twice simply because they didn't realize the original verification was still active. Knowing how long the verification lasts is just as important as knowing when it begins. 3. Children are treated differently. Families often assume every traveler will face exactly the same identification requirements, but that's not always the case. That means parents and grandparents traveling with younger family members should focus primarily on ensuring that the adults have acceptable identification. It's one less thing to worry about when planning a family vacation. Enjoying the video so far? Give it a thumbs up. It really helps the channel, and I truly appreciate it. 4. Paying ahead could save time. Nobody enjoys discovering an unexpected requirement, while dozens of people wait behind them in line. One recommendation discussed is paying the alleged confirm ID fee online before arriving at the airport, whenever that option is available. Handling everything from home allows travelers to avoid dealing with payment during the busiest part of the airport experience. Printing the confirmation and saving a screenshot on your phone can also provide extra peace of mind in case internet service or airport Wi-Fi isn't available when you need it. Small preparations made the night before often make travel day significantly smoother. 5. Cards you may already have that could help. Many travelers spend time worrying about getting a real ID without realizing another accepted document may already be sitting inside their wallet. According to the video's information, several DHS trusted traveler cards, including Global Entry, Nexus, and Sentry, can serve as acceptable identification. Some states also issue enhanced driver's licenses, which may also qualify. Many people signed up for Global Entry years ago for an international vacation and later forgot that the card can also be useful for domestic airport security. Before assuming you need additional verification, it's worth checking every card you already carry. 6. Don't forget your passport. There's another document that many travelers leave safely tucked away at home when it could actually solve the problem. A valid U.S. passport or passport card is generally accepted instead of a real ID under the video's explanation. For many people, especially retirees, their passport was originally obtained for an overseas vacation or cruise years ago and hasn't been used since. If it's still valid, bringing it on domestic flights can provide a simple backup identification option. Before relying on it, though, always check the expiration date. By the way, quick question. If you've ever experienced an unexpected airport situation that other travelers should know about, drop it in the comments to help other travelers. 7. Paying doesn't guarantee you'll get through. One of the biggest misunderstandings discussed in the video is assuming that paying the alleged fee automatically guarantees you'll continue through security. According to the explanation, that's not necessarily how the process works. If TSA cannot successfully verify your identity, additional questioning may follow. You could be asked about previous addresses, personal history, or other identifying information. If those questions can't be answered successfully, additional delays or even denial of screening could occur. That's why arriving at the airport earlier than usual is one of the smartest decisions travelers can make whenever their identification situation isn't straightforward. Extra time is always less stressful than watching boarding time approach while you're still standing at security. 8. The Real ID Appointment Trap. Many travelers decide they'll simply upgrade to a real ID shortly before their next vacation. The problem is timing. DMV appointment availability can become limited, especially when many people are trying to obtain a real ID around the same period. Waiting until just a week or two before departure could leave you without enough time to complete the process. Scheduling your appointment well in advance gives you far more flexibility. It's also important to gather the required documents, such as proof of identity, social security documentation, and proof of address, before your appointment so there are no surprises. Planning ahead today can eliminate stress months from now. 9. Real ID, the long-term solution. While passports and trusted traveler cards can certainly help, the most permanent solution discussed throughout the video is obtaining a real ID. The easiest way to recognize one is by the small star located near the top of the driver's license. Many travelers renewed their licenses online or by mail over the years and assumed that automatically made them compliant. Unfortunately, that's not always the case. If your license doesn't display the real ID star, it's worth looking into an upgrade well before your next flight. Once that's taken care of, future domestic travel becomes much simpler because you won't have to rely on alternative documents or additional verification. Sometimes the easiest solution is also the one that saves the most time over the years. 10. The biggest mistake that can cost more than money. At the end of the day, the biggest problem isn't necessarily an alleged $45 fee. It's assuming nothing has changed. Many travelers continue packing exactly the way they did 5 or 10 years ago, expecting the airport experience to be identical. Then they arrive at security, discover their identification isn't compliant, spend valuable time answering questions or completing verification, and suddenly find themselves racing against the boarding clock. A small delay at the checkpoint can quickly become a missed flight. That's why the smartest habit isn't waiting until travel day. Check your driver's license days, or even weeks, before your trip. Verify whether you have a real ID. If not, consider bringing another accepted form of identification, such as a passport or a trusted traveler card. And if additional verification may be required, complete everything as early as possible instead of hoping it can all be sorted out at the airport. A few minutes of preparation at home can prevent hours of frustration later. And that's everything you need to know about the new TSA Confirm ID fee before your next flight. If you found this helpful, let us know in the comments. Have you checked your license for the real ID star yet? Make sure to like this video, share it with a friend or family member who might not know about this change, and subscribe to the channel for more travel tips that'll save you time, money, and stress at the airport. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.